The Lexus RX and the Genesis GV70 are the lesser-known choices in the compact SUV segment, but not considering them is a massive mistake. While the Lexus RX literally invented this segment, its 2026 redesign proves that Lexus knows exactly when to stick to a winning formula and not fix what's not broken. At the same time, the GV70 is relatively new and tries to balance performance and luxury at a great price. But are they worth taking a look at instead of the usual Audi Q5 or BMW X3? Well, in this video we will find out just that. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Genesis design is anything but safe. Instead of a square grille with two lights on each side, the designers flawlessly implemented the brand's split headlights and shield-shaped grille, giving it a unique identity in a segment full of copycats. The side profile is really good looking because of two design choices. One is the hood being longer than normal, and the second being a lower overall height. Both of these elements make it look longer and wider than it actually is. Wheel sizes are limited on the GV70 with either 19 or 21 inches. Out back, the unusual design continues, with the tailgate being very smooth without any sharper angles, with two massive horizontal taillights mirroring the headlights up front. The bumper design differs by trim level, with the highest two models getting rear exhaust tips out the back. The Lexus RX, on the other hand, takes a different approach to how an SUV should look. For one, it's significantly longer than the GV70, 7 inches to be exact, which makes it look less SUV-like. The updated Lexus styling is more cohesively applied to a body that looks like it was meant for them from the beginning. The most noticeable change is the spindle grille. This design element has always been polarizing, particularly the bulging transition from the more upright lower section of the grille to the hood, which can seem a bit awkward. The silhouette again is even less SUV-like now. Although its ground clearance is over 8 inches and the overall height only 0.4 lower than before, it's still overall higher than the GV70 by almost 3 inches. Out back, a massive LED bar lines the rear end with the new Lexus wordmark stretched across the trunk lid, and the lower portion of the bumper now features a smooth wave-like design that blends polished metal and plastic into one cohesive look. Overall, this new Lexus RX is really good looking, but the GV70's unusual design is my favorite here. Jumping inside, the RX's cabin is eons better than it was, and it's amongst the best in its class. The dashboard adopts a more distinct two-tier design with a wraparound upper edge that seamlessly connects with the door panels. The resulting recess houses the available ambient lighting. A clearer console design with a smaller shifter and no more trackpad makes things feel less cluttered while ditching most of the ancient buttons for a larger touchscreen with fewer knobs. Where the Lexus shines, however, is in its material quality. There is lots of leather, real aluminum around the vents and steering wheel, and even a suede-like texture on the door panels in the same shade as the seats. As for infotainment, standard on the base and premium trim is a 9.8-inch screen, but the rest of the trim runs a massive 14-inch display. Physical rotary dials on either side of the screen handle the climate duties, while a smaller dial below the screen is for volume. The interface itself is easy to use with standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. New for 2026 is a 12.3-inch gauge cluster that can display maps and other information. As for Genesis, the GV70's cabin is a classy joint, all soft touch materials and clean flowing lines. Just like in the RX, it features the same two-tier design that wraps around and connects with the doors. But unlike the Lexus, there are fewer sharp lines and more circles. The largest of the ovals stretches across the dashboard from the driver's door to the glove box. It houses the climate controls, which uses a combination of physical dials and a capacitive touchscreen. A handful of redundant infotainment menu buttons sit directly below. The hidden side air vents stretch across the entire dash. This design continues onto the door panels, including the rear ones, which gives the cockpit design a more unified feel front to back. As for infotainment, you will be happy to know that the huge landscape-style 27-inch OLED infotainment screen is standard on all trims. Genesis' latest user interface is easy to understand, though the touchscreen might be hard to reach for some. Thankfully, there is a rotary dial in the center console to easily access the menus. It's now a short, raised cylinder of a dial to make using it easier on the move. Wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard. Overall, while both cabins feature their own distinctive design, the Genesis GV70 again is the winner here, with a superior build quality, but more importantly due to its impressive design. As for passenger and cargo space, Lexus makes some great seats, and these handsome leather buckets fit the driver and front passengers like a glove thanks to excellent power adjustability in addition to ample head and legroom. Rear seat passengers enjoy slightly increased legroom at 37.4 inches, and a pair of rear passengers will have plenty of space despite a tall driver up front. Depending on trim, heated and ventilated seats are available in both rows. Cargo space is average for the class, with a pretty good 29.6 cubes with the seats up. Fold them down and you get a pretty low for the class 46.2 cubic feet. Genesis seats, on the other hand, which are specific to the Sport Prestige, are overly firm, while the chairs in the lesser trims are softer. Rear comfort is decent with similar legroom compared to the RX, while headroom is just as restricted due to the sloping roofline. As for cargo, the GV70 offers similar space to the Lexus with 29 cubic feet with all the seats up, fold the second row down, and you get a healthy 57 cubic feet. When it comes to pricing, the 2026 RX 350 starts at around $52,300. The Premium Plus is the one to go for, however, as it comes standard with the 14-inch screen, leather interior, ambient lighting, and 21-inch wheels. The hybrid powertrain is also the one we would recommend you go for, and it costs an extra $2,300 on top of any trim level you choose. The GV70, on the other hand, is much cheaper, starting at just under $49,000 for the base 2.5T all-wheel drive. But upgrading to the advanced trim at $56,400 is well worth the money. The Winso adds leather upholstery, ambient lighting, ventilated front seats, Bang & Olufsen premium audio, and a host of driver assistant features. The more premium 3.5T model starts at $64,500 and can reach $71,000 with the Sport Prestige trim. When it comes to driving and handling, the 2026 RX is brand new from the ground up, adapting the same TNGA platform variant as every front-drive Toyota and Lexus, which means it shares its mechanical DNA with the RAV4 and Sienna. Genesis shoppers may snicker at that, but ultimately, the RX enjoys the same improvements in way of sharper response inputs, greater composure on uneven pavement, and provides a driving position that's more sitting in than sitting upon. The RX 350h also now boasts a quieter and more refined iteration of Toyota's familiar hybrid powertrain setup. It includes a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated inline-4, two motors up front that helps power the wheels and vehicle accessories, and a third motor at the rear axle to create all-wheel drive by kicking in when front wheel slippage is detected. As for Genesis, the 4-cylinder engine option is more powerful than the one you find in the RX hybrid. The 2.5T model uses a turbocharged 2.5-liter 4 that also serves in other Genesis models. In this case, it generates 300 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. While this output falls short of the 3.5T twin-turbo V6, which boasts 375 horsepower and 391 pound-feet of torque, it still holds its own against the competition. Both powertrains share the same 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive is standard. The base 2.5T powertrain exhibits ample power. Its responsiveness is largely refined, showing only minimal surging during light throttle applications on uneven terrain. Now, when you compare it to the RX, the cheaper platform underpinning the Lexus, which, as we said before, belongs to Toyota, starts to show its weaknesses in overall refinement and noise insulation. Where the Lexus, however, comes back is in its exceptional fuel economy for midsize SUV, 36 mpg combined or 11 mpg better than the GV70. One downside, however, is pokey acceleration. Its 0 to 60 time is officially 7.4 seconds versus the Genesis 5.8 seconds, and it feels even slower when motoring onto the highway due to the droning CVT. So, which one should you choose? Well, this is an easy one. The GV70 artfully combines its cuddling, softer side with a satisfying serving of the joyful sportiness that you'd find in something like an X3. For a model that was introduced fairly recently, it's proof that fusing design, luxurious materials, vehicle dynamics, and refinement is the way to make a mark in this very crowded segment, which gives it the win in this comparison.